Hi everyone, it's Jade here, District Manager, soon to be Area Manager with Arbonne. I am just sending out a message to the Edgar region. I will probably likely post it on the Buchanan page if Teresa asks me to, just to let you know about my success today. So basically I've had quite a few appointments today for work that I'm really, because I'm short of time, I'm really trying to get as many asks done as I can, and even if it's people that I'm currently working with, so if it's meetings for work, I'm still wanting to ask them as well. So basically I went to a meeting today, and it was a meeting with a nurse, and we were chatting about our job roles and what it is we do throughout the county and how things are working and so on and so forth. And we'd spoken on the phone a few days ago, and she knew that I was getting lip fillers done, so we'd already had a bit of a crack about that. And so what I already knew was she was on my wavelength, so I knew we were going to gel instantly. But I didn't honestly think that it was going to be a situation today where I would have asked her to take a look at Arbonne. So I was in the meeting, and we were chatting away, like I say, we're getting to know each other's job roles, what we do throughout the county, and she was saying, oh, you know, you must love your job. And I said, I absolutely do love my job. I said, I love both of my jobs. And, you know, she looked a bit like she was going to say, oh, what is it you do? And I'd sort of dropped Arbonne in a few times, not on purpose, just because it comes naturally to us. I'm more mindful of not flooding people with too much information now, because I used to do that. So we were chatting away, asking a question. She was talking about her daughter, I was talking about my past and being young and all them sort of things. And I pulled out my water bottle to take a drink, and she said, oh, I recognise that sign, I know that sign from somewhere, I'm sure I've heard of Arbonne. I said, oh yeah, it's my business, that's what I do. She said, oh, what is it you do? And I said, well, basically I recommend products that I love, and I teach and train people to do the same. So I have a base of consumers that redirect the spending to me, and then I have a group of people that I work with for business. So it's just network marketing, basically, word of mouth advertising. So that's the main thing today, isn't it? It's what everybody does. I said, it's genius. I said, why have we never thought to make money from this before? I was like, you know, it's just so common now for people to do it, and it's just so fun and easy, really. And she said, do you teach and train a lot of people then? I said, yeah, I do, yeah, I've got quite a big team. And I said, why are you interested? And she says, well, yeah. She was like, I'd love to go part-time with this job. Not that I don't love it. She said, but I would love to drop my hours, but can't afford to because I don't have a lot of money. And I said, all right, okay. I said, so maybe like if we could meet up, I could show you how you could do that. Would you be interested in that? And she was like, yeah, definitely. Exactly is it that you do? So I'll give her a sort of a bit of a brief overview of what my sort of work days look like with Arbonne. And I said, you'd be great at it. I was like, you're really confident. I was like, you're likeable, which was one of the key things. I was like, and if you're disciplined, they're the three key things that you need in this business. And she was like, oh my God, yeah, definitely. So then we got on to chatting again because we had other work to discuss. And then at the end, I gave her my business card. We added each other on Facebook, and that was it. So we'll be meeting up for a brew, and obviously I'll be going over the DA with her to see, you know, how Arbonne could fit into her current schedule. Very things that, like, you know, I walked out with what I'd learned from that was listen, talk less. That is something that I've never really been good at, because my brain works 20 times faster than anybody else's, and then that also appears in my voice. I'm quite a fast talker and often maybe overwhelm people, so it's quite mindful of just staying relaxed and listening. And when I walked out, I thought, didn't do too bad actually. I definitely did a lot better than what I have done in the past. And then I went for my fillers. I top lip's been filled with hyaluronic acid, which by the way is in the Arbonne lip treatment. So that's one of the key selling points to anybody that's had any lip fillers done, is to recommend that they use that as a follow-on treatment. And I'd gone to get my lip fillers done with a GP who I'd talked to prior to having them done about Arbonne. That was my initial reason for meeting up with this guy. And he said that his wife would be interested in looking at the business. I gave him an opportunity pack to take away with him to Greece, where he was meeting his wife with the kids. And when I got there, we were chatting about the fillers, asking me if I was nervous. Like, no, I'm really excited. And then he said, oh, my wife looked through the pack. She's really, really interested. And I was like, yeah, well, she added me on Facebook, so I assumed she would be. But I wanted to meet her in person before I mentioned it. So basically, from that, his wife and me will be meeting up regarding the business as soon as the kids get back to school. She just wants to get organised with that. So two sort of asks, if you will, to two people that I've gone to on a one-to-one in person that I've spoke to about the business today. I just find that people trust you more when you have spoken in person with them sometimes than when it's over Facebook. So I just urge and encourage everybody to try to bring Arbonne into your current life with what you're doing, because I find that you just get more success that way. I need to go off my phone because I'm running out of time, but if you've got any questions, post them below. Bye!